First guest today, Cole Frankman, dealer principal owner of Frankman Motor Company. All right,
hi guys,
Cole.
how's it going?
Cole, before we get in and ask you our signature question, what do you think of this Chrysler deal? This Carvana Chrysler deal in Phoenix? Real, fake, something to be worried about? Does it get you excited? What do you think about it?
It's interesting. I'm also with you guys. Like, you don't know what the game plan is.
No.
So if it's just market share, it's market share. But
yeah,
also Carvana's huge and they
Yeah.
push units. And if they want to sell
They
cars,
got
they're going
deep
to do it.
pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
So
deep pockets.
the only people that know what's going on are probably people inside.
Yeah. So in your world, here in 2025, August, you're an independent. Where are you located, by the way?
I'm in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm
Oh, South Dakota.
15
That's
miles
cool.
from Iowa and Minnesota border. Right
Okay,
in the,
very
right
cool.
in the corner.
Very cool. Actually, this is direct from Yossi, the car dealership guy. He says it's real, confirmed. So it's fact. Mic drop. Thanks for the 100 and get this. They sold 101 new units in July. What did they go from, Yossi? He's texting right now. He's messaging us. We'll see what that is. Cole, has Carvana been a competing or a competition factor for you in your market in South Dakota?
Not too much in Sioux Falls. Closest Carvanas would either be Omaha or Minneapolis. Each one's 3-4 hours away. I see plates like occasionally, but it's not right down the road, so it's not like a direct competition for anybody here yet.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, it's fascinating. But listen, you're gaming up on your processes in store there. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. But before we go there, the banner question that we've asked every guest that comes on this show, Cole, how's biz?
I'm blessed to say that biz is good. Biz is great. August heating up. We're pacing like 60% more than previous month. 40% up on last August. So that's good.
Wow.
We had a good string of cars come in. Traps are all set. Since we're independent, the inventories matters a lot. I got about 200-300 cars on the ground. So usually a good month is always because of a good setup last month.
Yeah. So what would you say are there processes that play into this year over year and month over month increase that other dealers listening could learn from an independent used?
I've heard it on the show a bunch of times. Most of it's people, always has been. It's going to be for a long, long time. We're not scared of change either. I know some people on a team can get, there can be times where they're like, okay, we're going to change that. All right, let's do it. But we're also quick to walk it back if we make a change and it's just not working, flat out, terrible idea. Okay. But fear of change is always a terrible excuse not to try something. So we'll go for
speaking of people, because you listed your people that can change first, because we are going to get into those processes. You're going to tell us one process that most of our franchise friends out there use, but they probably don't use it like you do. But we're going to get to that in just a minute. How many employees do you have, and where do you get your best employees? I think it says you have about 60.
We have about 60 people across all departments. I mean, we're sales, service. I got a body shop, a restoration shop, obviously detail on site, the whole 9 yards. The best people, where to get them, most of them have been with me for a long time, which I'm proud to say. The rest of them, I mean, good people come where the team's winning. It's kind of like reverse psychology of the firmer you are and the more strict the processes are, the more appealing you can be, because that's when the ball starts moving. And I've been on both sides of it. We've been super loose and relaxed. We've been firmer. We're kind of trying to hit that direction again of really trying to stay within the guide rails and keep expectations and principles.
Cole, I got to call you out. You said try a lot for firm.
Yeah, it's a battle. It's every day. You gotta do it all the time.
So what's one thing that you've had to get firm on that has created the result that you've got year over year, month over month? What's one process that you're like, you know what, we are just going to get super strict on this? Past try, we're going to do.
I remember, like, from a process perspective, we got really strict on the transaction and the order it happens. So, I mean, we used to do deposits if somebody's coming to buy a car, if they're 3 days out of town, they express interest, take a deposit, you know, hold the car off the market. And we sat down and ironed out a process that I have a lot of long distance customers because we do handle some specialty stuff. Uh, all terms are agreed to, everything's done. If your financing credit's approved, you know, deals bought, all of that's done before we'll take any money. I don't want your money unless I think it's the car for you. Like, just let's not fool ourselves, hold our breath. If I take money, I don't want to refund it. I want it to be a good experience and all the way through. And that's a battle changing from the previous to the new.
Sure.
Yeah, because your sales guy, your sales guys want to take deposit on everything. And
I want
that's mine. That's
and
mine.
You want
that's
deposits
mine.
on
I'm at the desk and I'm like,
but you calculate the carrying cost. It's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's expensive. And it's nice. It's honestly nice to have a team that sits down and wants to have the process and understands that it's not just me at the top. I mean, it's my finance managers, my sales managers, even my service writers and service manager. We all need to understand the processes are there, so you know the game that you're playing and like what outlets do I have at any time. We don't have to sit down and have a whole meeting every time a car deal comes through, because no one wants to do that. Just we know the rules, we can operate.
So Cole, how long have you been in business?
We've been in business since 1988.
And you at the helm, or are you a second gen?
I took over the store when I was 20, so coming up on 8 years.
From your dad or from another generation?
My mom and dad started it. My dad's always been buyer, car trader. My mom, even he will say, is credited with building the business up from the ground up.
We need to interview your mom. Is she
unfortunately,
involved still?
She passed away a couple years ago.
Really were late. Sorry to hear that.
She got sick and had to step away from the business. That's why
Sorry to hear that.
I was kind of trial by fire when I was 20, taking it over. Sure. But she gave me a great platform to jump off from, and there's no doubt about that.
So you're second generation. You see the trust that is this business entrusted to you. You've learned the benefit of being super strict and demanding a lot of your team. I have a question, and this may show some bias. What the heck are you doing? Why are you an independent? Why are you not a franchise new dealer?
Hey, if the opportunity came up, I'd look at it.
All right. Well, what would you do?
Like
if you could pick an OEM, what would you pick?
You know, I've listened to a few people on the show, and I used to have brands in mind. But now it's kind of one of those questions of like,
does it rhyme with Shimoyota?
Well, I mean, everybody wants a Toyota store. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But no, it'd be interesting. Independent gives you a lot of freedom. I'm friends with a lot of dealers, both used and new. And I mean, we have no boss, which is a huge benefit because we can do whatever we want. But also, the con is you can do whatever you want. So, you know, you kind of.
I'm looking at some of your stats here on the ground. So you got 275 cars on the ground. You're selling about 150, 170 a month. That's factual.
Yep.
So your turn's pretty strong. I mean, I'm not a human calculator, so you're at
faster.
Like a 40, 45 day turn. How many days to frontline?
That's the thing that's holding our turn up right now. I'm actually in the process of working through our service department, try to get some more capacity in there. I actually 60% of my service business is customer pay retail. So we can run into that when you run out, you know, the hours are the hours. So it's it's tough when you have units sitting there that you want to recon and get done because carrying costs are big, but also, you know, customers are important. And I don't take for granted a single one because there isn't a brand out on the sign on the road. So I want to make sure they're
getting that you're 100% used. This is when the wheels start turning for me. I mean, obviously your days to front line they're important for everyone, but even more important for you. That's your bread and butter. Do you take an approach where you're reconning the cars at like a flat so you can get the cars out as quickly as possible? So I'm making up numbers here. Rack every car, $1,500 a copy, whether it takes $800 or $2,000, reconcile at the end of the month. Or are you letting the cars go through and you know you're catching up with it?
We've talked about doing a flat recon pack. Our problem is we handle literally everything. So I have a specialty business. I know in May I sold a 2023 Lamborghini Huracan next to a 1930 Chevy Woody panel wagon.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm like, I don't even know what to say to
So
people
when you
anymore.
say restoration, you're restoring like cars like that?
We won't sell the restorations because that's usually not a profitable enterprise. That's more of a I want it, so I'll restore it type thing. But 80% of our business is late model, normal bread and butter cars. But every time we look at a recon pack or something like that, it's like, man, I got like 20 to 25 cars anytime. That's just ain't gonna work. It'll just completely break down. So maybe someday.
So Dan C. Cole, Dan C. asks online, he says, where do you acquire a majority of your inventory? So you're not franchised. You don't have those new car trade-ins. Where do you get your inventory?
We are buying at auction still to fill in the gaps. We have a lot of customers that we buy a lot of cars off the street. I know I have one guy that's been with me the longest, one of my cousins. He's on the floor, and I know on Saturday he bought in, I think it was 8 cars, just him.
Wow.
And
what's your
street
process
buys,
to do that?
Yeah.
So we do utilize AccuTrade. It's one of my favorite tools.
Nice props
Obviously
to
we
AccuTrade.
put our car guy hat on as well.
Yeah.
But you know,
what do you like, Cole, about AccuTrade? Because Brian Kramer talked about that a little bit last week.
the biggest thing for me is that the options that come in and fill, because since we're independent, we're praising a lot of cars. It doesn't throw 870 options at you. It's like, no, these are the 6 options that matter and actually transition to value in lane, whether it be one way or the other. So that's good. Of course, we have V-Auto, and we also look at past sales and knowledge and things like that. We have a big name for some specialty cars. So a lot of our street buys are people that might not be old, but if you have a Hellcat or a BMW M car or an AMG or something like that, we'll buy anything with 4 wheels and a title, basically. So
wow.
And if we're not the right people too, we're really honest, we'll try to find the right person for them to sell that vehicle to. But
consignment,
we try to stay away from consignments. Just gets I'd rather
messy.
buy it, own it.
Messy.
Yeah,
it's messy. It takes up real estate. It takes up floor space and headspace, salespeople and whatnot. All right. So we've been teasing the one process. So obviously, you've got a good operation. Hats off to your mom. Hats off to your dad for building it and for you for growing it. There's one process that you looked at and you realized, I want to just nail this. And it was call tracking. Talk to us about how you saw that as a problem and then what you did to fix it.
So anyone that's running a CRM that's from this century will probably have call tracking. I know some stores have like a single number. Some stores do. Each individual agent has their own number. I'm a drive-centric store. I have been for years, and I have everybody on it. My service advisors are in Drive. My title department's in Drive. I want everything cohesive.
Okay.
And we employ Call Review for all of our call tracking stuff. And well, initially it was Total CX, and then Call Review bought them and merged over. And Call Review's great. They're always pushing new products. Yeah. Call Review's amazing.
Cole, everyone is always pushing new products. What part of Call Review to you helps you connect with that customer or track or get a better result? And this is, by the way, this is not paid advertising for them. I'm fascinated. Can I just tell you why I'm fascinated as you answer?
Yes.
So we made a transition many years ago from VIN Solutions over to eLeads. VIN Solutions had call recording, eLeads did not. And so we got Call Review almost as a bolt-on. And I think maybe have not leaned into it as much as we possibly could have. So I'm going to be fascinated to hear how you've capitalized and maximized it.
So I listened to the show on Friday. I think it was Dennis, right?
Yeah.
He had a phrase I liked, which I have always employed, is if it didn't happen in CRM, it didn't happen.
I love it. Yes.
So with the call tracking, it's great. All the calls are recorded. If you ever need to go back and look at it, you can. But I don't have time to listen to thousands of phone calls a month, and I don't think anyone in my chair or any chair near management has that time. So Call Review's great because they do have their own dashboards, and you can go in and it transcribes the call, and then now AI will give you a summary and it will give you alerts and all that. And they have a great interface and dashboard. The problem is it's not the CRM. And I've always been a fan of trying to keep everything centralized. And you might have 1 or 2 people on staff for each of the many products that all of us have that are like the dashboard expert of that thing. But I think if we're all honest with ourselves, you might look at it once a month, maybe end of the week. It's always, rearward facing when I'm looking at that kind of stuff. So I am a bit of a nerd. And I was like, man, it would be nice to get that in, to have a lever or a call to action that happens when that happens. So after talking with Call Review and just kind of seeing everything, the big part of a CRM is internet leads. However, if you ask me, what do you care more about? Or if I had the choice, internet lead or phone lead, I will take the phone lead because to me, that's better. And based on all the data, it's better. So the thing always holding it up from having a call to action was you don't necessarily know who you're talking to on the phone. When I was getting into all the new stuff with Call Review, with the AI stuff and the summaries, I saw at the top that there was a first and last name. I was like, where would you get that? And they go, well, let's just use the reverse lookup data. And sometimes it'll be the person's first and last name, whoever the phone's registered to, or it'll be, South Dakota caller in my case, or whatever state. But it'd be like the caller ID you see on like your desk phone.
Yeah.
And I go, so that's there. They're like, yep. And I'm looking at the dashboard and I see all the boxes and everything. I go, could you make like an XML ADF format template for this?
Oh boy.
And they looked at me and they're like, well, everything's API. Like you can just listen to the call. I go, yeah, I know. But can you do that? And they go, well, it's kind of old school, but sure, we could do it. And I think I spent
your CRM
4 months back and forth pestering them until I got the first version working. So now, and we're many versions past this, and I was actually talking with them today to try to tweak it a little better. But as of now, if somebody calls my store and they say, hey, do you have any black F-150s? No, we don't. We have some white ones, whatever the call may be. And maybe they say their name, maybe they don't. It'll take that call, and in Call Review, as we know the dashboard, it'll say, because the agent that is here has the voice recognition. So say, oh, my salesman Cole took this phone call, spoke with this customer. If it has the name, it'll say Steve, Sam. Talk about F-150s, didn't have any black ones, got some white ones. And it will take customer name, the summary of the call, link to the call, and it will put in an XML lead and submits to the CRM, just like any other lead. I didn't know how many phone leads at my store were never entered into the system because they weren't juicy enough. Maybe somebody was self-qualifying it, or maybe
they don't want to count it as a phone up or whatever, right?
Right. And the other thing,
it's a service call.
Yep. And the other thing, I have a different number for every source. Yeah. So they can push that too. So now when the phone lead comes across, I know that was an Auto Trader phone call between this person about this car. And I knew it would be cool, but the repercussions so far have been incredible because in that instance I just described, we don't have any black ones, we don't have any white ones, but now everybody can see it, including my inventory manager, who's like, I have 2 white ones coming in and they're going to be here tomorrow.
That's cool.
I've seen it where, a car, somebody says, oh, that car was sold. No, it wasn't. Call it right back. And drives great. You can tag the salesman. Hey, no, that's not sold. It's parked over here. It's actually on the lift in service right now. Oh, okay, great. So
just to recap it, just so the audience, so customer calls in, whether they call in because they're they found your ad online or they click Google or whatever, they call in, Call Review tracks it, every single one, and then you created a special link where it'll push it over to your CRM.
It'll be just like a Car Gurus lead. So like how when you get a lead in the CRM and say comes in from Car Gurus and it's usually, hi, I'm interested in stock number so-and-so, because it's just a template from Car Gurus. It's the same thing. It's just giving you a summary of the phone call.
Yeah.
Every phone call.
Here's what I have a hard time believing, and I don't know this, so maybe this doesn't exist anywhere. Like you had to create this to make it work, or it didn't exist in this particular solution, so you created it because it's got to be there.
credit is due. Call Review built it for me.
Nice. Props
but
to Call
the
Review.
template didn't exist. So every CRM's different. Drive didn't have anything like this. I've been trying to get something like this for a long time, but for the longest time, you're missing a piece. Like if you go to CarGurus and a customer submits it, they're entering their name and their email, all that stuff. And before, if you're talking old school phones, you get the phone call and you know what it's about, but I don't maybe have their name unless you're just going to submit John Doe 40,000 times.
So do you get a cut on this somehow? Did you work it out with Call Review? You're like, hey, all I want is like 1% or 2%. I just want a little piece of this action. So we're going online.
They built it for me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, and actually, let me ask you this before we go to our online comments. Can you quantify it back to an impact? Like how many vehicles sold? And then how did you come up with the idea of the XML? Like, did you use ChatGPT? Was there a technology that you used to come up with that? Or
well, I'm a big data guy. I like all the softwares. If I go through my bookmark tab of all the softwares we have, I mean, it's nuts.
So you just know that.
I joke with people I know that like I can't go to NADA because I'll leave with like $100,000 a month more in expenditures because I can't say no to stuff.
By the way, that's what they want. That's how they get
quantifying it. I know for sure. I mean, I've had it for probably 30 days running at full steam.
Oh, it's fresh. Okay.
And it was working before that, but kind of touch and go. Now it's really dialed in for 30 days. And I know there's 3 cars that we've sold that would not have known about. I wouldn't have known about. Was just, it's done. We either said it was sold. And then as well, on Friday, which I didn't even think this was going to be a thing, we sold a truck and there was just some WEO stuff that had to happen, and it was a long distance deal. And it was a newer F-250. And the guy drove back home, I just take it to the Ford dealer. They'll take care of it. And because time was of the essence. And the service writer from Ford called my sales manager that did the deal, and he was out of the office. She left a voicemail. Well, it was his call tracking line, so it went to the CRM. I saw it, tagged my service manager because he's in the CRM. I said, hey, this is the scoop. Can you call a service writer? And my sales manager is very good at what he does. Within 10 minutes, he called me and said, hey, Cole, I'm out of the office. And I was like, yeah, it's already done. And he's like, what? Wow. I go, yeah, the Ford thing? Yeah, it's already done.
So I'm going to say something here. I think you doing something as intentional as this probably puts you in the top 5% of IEDs. And it might even put you in the top 40% of franchise to be able to be that intentional and connect a service visit to a sales call and then reach back out. I would be curious to our audience out there, and we got a big audience today. Is there another tool that's similar to this? Because this seems it makes sense. Like, why wouldn't everybody be doing this, right? And then hopefully, anybody that's using your tool can reach out to the provider and say, hey, I want to do exactly what I learned from Cole on the Daily Dealer Live, because I think that's pretty cool. Let's go to our online comments. Lauren Klein says, do you listen to and train from those unappointed inbound sales calls? So how do you engage and interact with the call recordings? Do you do training or?
So this was the big thing, because usually call training is like you're trying to pick out calls from earlier in the week.
Tough to do. Yeah.
It's in sales. I mean, if it didn't happen 10 minutes ago, I barely remember. The 3 car deals I was talking about where, it was kind of dead and then it wasn't. That was one where, phone hangs up, that XML comes in within 15 seconds. And I see it. I'm like, whoa. And you can go right out to the salesperson and be like, hey, pull up this customer. And then they see it. And then you can explain whatever the situation is. Hey, that car's not sold. Maybe in this instance, I wouldn't have said it like that. Or, you're trying to get a trade value on a car and they live 10 minutes away and it's a 20-year-old sports car. It's like, it's better if they come in. That one's experience all the way. It'll be worse if they don't. But it makes it easier to train because it's in the moment. And that was the main thing I was trying to do. Is often, all these softwares have dashboards and a lot of them are great. And it's not like a jab at them because I just have tons of softwares and I just can't be in all the dashboards at one time.
All right, I want to propose to you. I want to share another thought that came across my head as you described this. So I've been proposed or showed recently multiple times, not one provider, but multiple providers, an AI tool where they will record the conversation between salesperson and customer, and then it will run it through AI, and it will actually flag and train the salespeople on, how to talk to a customer, where the deal is, where it sits. Oh, they do. Okay. All right. Does it work pretty well? Okay.
It's not on every call because not every call needs training, but I've seen it. And it's usually pretty good. Of like,
it'll tell a manager to come in.
Or you did a great job on this call here and here. However, like you forgot to ask them for a specific appointment.
Yeah.
Or you should have done this earlier in the call and they would have had better reception.
Use that? Are you using that or no?
We try to use it. Again, that's rearward facing. If that could get pushed into the CRM, I bet every single salesman would read it every time.
Interesting. There's the idea. So that's your next idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it pushing the recurring phone calls in as like duplicates? Like if the same customer calls in multiple times, being that it's recorded every time, is it a duplicate?
Yeah, it is. It's more work. There's no doubt. Yeah. It's not, I don't have agent lines doing it. So I don't want, my view, especially in sales, is if a lead comes in, no matter the metric or medium, let's say it's Auto Trader comes in, the ideal process is salesman takes the call, gets it in their name, and then all communication from that point forward is through their direct line. That I can all see. So that's fine. So when a lead comes in the phone, if they get off the phone, hang it up, they'll add the customer manually. Then the XML will come in 3 to 5 minutes later, and you'll have to merge it and then pick, okay, I want, the XML one. If they call that number 4 times, there might be 4 dupes, but in my case, Drive Centric,
so if you have it that way, you're going to see an astronomical amount of phone leads, if they're all getting,
it's all on your CRM. So Drive Centric, clearing dupes.
Yeah, you just got to clean it up.
It comes in and you're like, merge done, 2 columns over. I've had other CRMs in the past where it does take some more time. But you can quantify things, everything that's going out of call review. Like at first it was every call and I was like, whoa, this is way too many. But you can dial it down depending on your sources of which numbers you want to push. And they know sales versus service. So this morning when I was talking to them, I'm like, man, it'd be nice if the service calls went to the service leads bucket on Drive, the different XML address. And they went, yeah, we could do that. It's like, awesome. Perfect.
All right. Thanks. For our audience, XML means,
I don't know what it stands for. It's
extensible markup language. It's a flexible text-based format used to store, structure, and share data. And it's a common format that APIs use, which those of you that are, on a Saturday, Dealer Track or something goes down and it's the API. That's API. I don't even know what that means, but yeah. Interesting, huh? All right. We're going to a comment online here. Somebody has to say it. Cole could be Zach Bryan's doppelganger if he went the car dealer route instead of country music star route. Maybe. I don't see it. Do you see it? Have you ever gotten that before?
No. Some people say I look like the mustard guy from Instagram, though.
The mustard guy?
It's some southern dude that loves mustard.
All right. We're going to cue
I get mistaken for him at concerts.
If he pulls that up, that'll be awesome. All right. Well, as we wrap up today, thanks for an incredible conversation. I think it's insightful to our audience to hear about how, you are set apart in your intentionality with training and setting up systems and processes. You've got a large fixed ops operation, restoration, body shop. You've got all the things. You don't want to answer the question, which OEM would you choose if you could go there? So let's talk about 5 years down the road. What do you think is your biggest hurdle when you look 1 year and 5 years down the road, Cole, as an independent used car dealer in your marketplace? What keeps you up at night?
Honestly, Sioux Falls, in my case, is growing exponentially. We have insane growth, keeping up. We're on 10 acres right now, the campus. Wow. We own some additional land outside of that. So I don't have any constraints with buildings or anything like that. But the main goal would be can I scale the facility, because we're growing. We already need to expand now in terms of capacity and everything. Expanding to meet the growth of Sioux Falls, because I don't want to leave anything on the table. Sioux Falls is also, I'm in a weird demographic or geographic, I guess, where we kind of have Sioux Falls, which is a metro area, like 250,000 people. We have a couple small towns about an hour each way outside of town. And then the next big place is Minneapolis or Omaha.
Okay. All right.
So like from a multiple location standpoint, back before like late 90s, we had 5 locations in town. A little bit more common to drive around hunting for a car. We've since consolidated to this main campus, because why have more locations 10 minutes apart when you don't need it?
So DNC is asking, how many service bays do you have?
I
think you said that, but
12 lifts in my main area.
Okay.
And then I have a whole quick lane side as well with 2 lifts, and I'm installing a third.
Nice.
I can get more lifts in. I'm just trying to get lifts in before I start calling contractors to cut holes in buildings and such.
Yeah.
Trying to get as clever as I can before I need to do that. But
and then final question before we show you a picture and we wrap. What would Lauren Klein says? What was your IB rate, appointment rate before versus now?
Boy, that's one of our struggles. My guys, we're soft appointment kings, so they don't like setting appointments in the system for some reason.
Okay.
But
if it's not in the CRM, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know. Right. But
the tree falls in the forest, nobody around to hear it. Lauren Klein
the nice
also
thing is Call Review tracks soft appointments as well.
Yeah.
So I know, like my number 1 volume salesman, he only sets soft appointments, and he's at like 75% show rate.
Okay. Wow.
Is there stuff on the table? Yeah. That's what the idea behind this is.
My first Lauren GM used to say, where there's smoke, there's fire. So
yeah.
Lauren Klein also comments, better car people. PDS has a product that does listen to, track, and alerts management of missed service and sales appointments. So, all right, as we wrap up here, and again, Cole, we appreciate you joining the show today and sharing your perspectives as independent used dealer. Awesome to hear your journey, what you're winning and succeeding at. We have a photo. Let's see if there's a similarity to this.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah,
that dude.
I don't see it. That guy actually looks more like, who's the soccer coach from the European show? What was it? Oh gosh, come on. It was funny. Ted Lasso. Yes. Thank you, Taylor. That other guy Mr. Mustard looks more like Ted Lasso to me, which actually you could be Ted Lasso. That's fair. So
it's the mustache. I think you're just kind of anyone with a mustache. You're just looking like.
Yep. Well, Cole Frankman, dealer, principal, owner of Frankman Motor Company, thank you so much for being on the show, sharing your perspective.
Thanks for having me.
Look forward to catching up with you at some point in the future. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Thanks guys.